Hold on. Liam stood up and walked towards Marcus Crane.
His sneakers crunched on the broken glass, like stepping on their hearts.
Where's the apology? Liam stared coldly at Marcus Crane. Don't push it.
Marcus Crane gritted his teeth, sobering up considerably.
Damn it, was this nephew's previous personality all an act? You weigh the consequences yourself.
I, Liam Kyle, have always done things openly.
You still owe my sister a life. I've always remembered that. Marcus Crane's face turned pale. Sure enough.
This kid was pretending all along.
He glared fiercely at the underling. Go apologize.
The underling looked at him in disbelief. Seeing his boss decisively turn away, he had to grit his teeth, walk over, and kneel on the broken glass.
Sorry, I was drunk and talking nonsense. I'm really sorry.
After speaking, he walked out the door without looking back.
He didn't even glance at Marcus Crane. No backbone at all.
From now on, he, Richie, changed name, would cut ties with Marcus Crane, no longer having anything to do with him.
Richie as a generic underling name. The other underlings exchanged glances, ultimately unwilling to leave. A starved camel is still bigger than a horse. No matter how unfavored Marcus Crane was, he was still the eldest son of the Kyle family. He was usually generous. Countless people wanted to curry favor but had no opportunity.
If they had no backbone, so be it. They couldn't bear to give up the wealth they already had.
Damn, I can't believe Marcus Crane actually caved. Eye-opener.
Although he used his underling as a scapegoat, he's lost face.
It'll be hard to get it back. Yeah, people will talk about it for a lifetime. Marcus Crane's face was extremely ugly. He didn't even have the energy to pay attention to the jeers and provocations from the gossiping crowd. He left dejectedly with his men.
Ding dong, congratulations host, mission comfort the young madam completed.
Reward, target's favorability increased by 20. Current favorability, 190.
Host, please continue your efforts, increase favorability, and unlock more charming poses.
Is her mood better now? I clearly haven't even done anything yet.
Sophia's eyes sparkled as she looked at him, filled with a sense of happiness. Liam struck while the iron was hot, saying to her, Sophia, come home with me this weekend to meet my parents.
Sophia immediately became embarrassed. Let your future in-laws meet you directly. It'll save you from worrying, right?
Liam said with a mischievous smile.
Actually, meeting his parents was just an excuse. Liam's goal was to get the Kyle Group to invest in Oceanic Express.
He happened to propose it when Sophia was looking at him with sparkling eyes, and her mind didn't react in time.
No, we're not at that step yet. Don't worry. If my parents also agree to this, you won't have to be conflicted anymore, right?
Mainly, I want to ask my dad for some advice on Oceanic Express.
He'll definitely have good suggestions for you. Danny also chimed in from the side, yeah, sister-in-law. Aunt Maria dotes on Liam the most. Even if the Kyle Group doesn't invest, with the Kyle family backing you, wouldn't getting business be as easy as pie? Sophia dazedly agreed.
Liam secretly gave the fatty a thumbs up.
Good brother, well done. This fatty was useful. Though a bit goofy, he had been subtly influenced since childhood, his discerning eye was absolutely top-notch. A qualified wingman. You offended him like that, will it be okay?
Sophia found it inconvenient to continue this topic in front of Ms. Young and changed the subject.
Who? Liam asked, feigning ignorance. Marcus Crane, isn't he your uncle? Liam smiled, unconcerned. That guy is used to being arrogant outside. Today he dared to offend you. Don't worry, no one in the family likes him.
He won't be able to jump around for much longer. He almost killed us in a bid for the family fortune before. It won't be long before we settle scores with him. The original Liam, being timid, could still maintain a superficial respect for Marcus Crane.
Now, Liam wasn't that kind of two-faced person.
Grudges had to be avenged immediately.
Originally, it was to introduce Sophia to Danny and Ms. Young.
Unexpectedly, Marcus Crane barged in, and everyone lost interest in gathering. When paying the bill, the owner's attitude was clearly more respectful, and he even gave them a 30% discount.
Then thank you, owner. Your place isn't bad. I'll bring people to support you next time.
Although Liam didn't care about this little bit of money, the owner knew how to act, which felt good. Earlier, he had even signaled them to leave quickly with his eyes. His intentions weren't bad. The owner repeatedly thanked them, escorting them all the way to the door. Sophia drove Ms. Young and Danny home, then finally took Liam to her own place. Before getting out of the car, Danny asked if there was a way to contact Bella Vance. Earlier, before Liam made his move, fearing Marcus Crane would cause trouble after drinking, he had told Bella to leave quickly.
I saved it.
I'll send you her contact info later.
Changed WeChat to general contact info. Contact info for what? Danny said suspiciously. Original, WeChat is what?
Only then did Liam remember it was still the early 2000s, WeChat wouldn't be out for several more years. Note, QQ/WeChat reference removed as it's too specific to China for this Americanized version.
Contact info is more general. Just her number. You misheard. Hurry up and go. Only then did Danny leave, satisfied.
The car started again, heading towards Sophia's riverside residential area. On the way, they casually talked about the situation at Oceanic Express. Knowing the O family had started making small moves, Liam comforted her, "Don't worry, just a small O family.
They only have a little influence in this small part of Harborview. To me, they're just ants I can crush casually." Sophia glanced at him and said angrily, "Yes, yes, yes, you're the most amazing." Her tone was like coaxing a child. But Liam wasn't angry either. He was too lazy to explain. By the weekend, she would naturally know. His father, Frank Kyle, naturally wouldn't blindly listen to his son. But his mother, Maria Kyle, was different. She cherished Liam like the apple of her eye. As long as her precious son wanted it, even if it were the moon in the sky, she would find a way to build a ladder to pick it. Originally, Maria wasn't so doting on Liam, but ever since he almost died as a child, she herself lost the ability to get pregnant again. She was afraid of losing this only son again. Small matters were fine, but anything involving Liam was non-negotiable. It had to be according to her son's wishes. In recent years, as Liam entered his rebellious phase, it became even more exaggerated. No matter how unreasonable the request, Maria would agree. Luckily, before, he only liked to gather with Danny to study paper people, referring to comics/anime. If he had been a playful kid, he might have spent the latter half of his life peddling a sewing machine, referring to being in prison. 20 minutes later, they arrived at Sophia's riverside residential area. This was a riverside building newly built 5 years ago, with a very good environment. Even the security guards at the gate were young men, many of whom were retired military personnel. Salary over $10,000 a month, 2 days off a week, social insurance, and extremely strict security. Sophia bought a spacious ground-floor apartment, over 2,600 square feet, with large floor-to-ceiling windows in all south-facing rooms. The view was extremely expansive, with the entire river surface visible in detail. "Sophia, your place is beautiful. You can even see the river-crossing bridge." Liam put down his luggage, walked to the window, and said with some emotion. There were also many sightseeing boats with lanterns on the river, a special feature of Harborview. The classical-style flower boats combined with modern atmospheric lighting made the entire boat magnificent. This is also what made me fall in love with this apartment. Drinking a glass of wine by the window at night, all worries disappear. Let me show you your room. I have all the daily necessities. If you don't like them, I'll take you downstairs to buy more. Sophia had changed into a loose-fitting set of home clothes, now holding a towel, toothbrush, and slippers. How could I not like them? I like everything of yours. TSK, such a smooth talker. Come see your room, Sophia said, blushing. She still hadn't figured out why she had dazedly agreed to let Liam stay at her place. This troublemaker's mouth seemed to have some kind of magic. Any request he made was hard to refuse. She said it was the guest room, but that room was even larger than a normal master bedroom, about 500 square feet. This was the largest bedroom he had ever seen in his 2 lifetimes.
The decoration was simple yet not simplistic, a minimalist European style. The main color scheme was warm off-white, with a touch of light blue and pure black, making it look very comfortable and pleasant.
Awesome, this is it. This is my favorite room ever.
Liam excitedly flopped onto the large bed, his whole body enveloped by the feather duvet.
A rich young master like you, your words aren't believable at all. Sophia mercilessly exposed him.
An apartment over 2,600 square feet in the city center was far from reaching the level of a villa.
With the Kyle family's assets, they probably wouldn't even bother staying in this kind of room.
Liam pulled Sophia's hand with one hand, also pulling her onto the bed.
Ah!
Sophia exclaimed, but then found he made no further moves and gradually quieted down.
Sophia, I'm telling the truth. This is my favorite room in this life. Do you know why?
Why? Sophia said dejectedly.
Because you're here. Sophia burst out laughing with a pft.
This clumsy way of flirting didn't make her uncomfortable at all, instead, she found Liam incredibly cute.
Still just a little brother, after all. Sophia spread her palm and gently placed it on Liam's face. This kid's side profile was so handsome. This way seemed pretty good too. Even though he was a bit clumsy, a bit foolish, but if I like it this way, what can you do? How about Sophia stays? TSK, you wish. Go to sleep. I'll take you to school tomorrow morning. Sophia patted his head, stood up, and went out. The next day, Friday. Liam opened his eyes at 7:30.
He had fallen asleep in a daze last night, not even taking off his clothes and shoes. When he woke up, he was under the covers, his clothes neatly folded at the head of the bed. After washing up, he opened the bedroom door, and a fragrant aroma wafted from the kitchen.
Awake? Finished washing up? Breakfast is almost ready. Just waiting for the food. Liam smiled and walked to the kitchen door, watching Sophia busy ladling soup inside.
The morning sun shone on her cheek, a faint smile on her lips, softly humming an unnamed folk song. Her whole person seemed to glow, making him stare blankly.
Sophia, holding a pot with a cloth, walked over.
Seeing his dazed look, she said angrily.
Lend a hand, young master. Yes, your servant obeys. He reached out to take the pot of soup.
Stop talking nonsense, be careful not to burn yourself.
Liam took the pot of soup with one hand and placed it on the dining table. It was so hot he hissed. Aren't you burned? Don't you know how to use a cloth? Sophia pulled his hand, looking left and right. Ah, it's okay. I have thick skin naturally. You just keep joking. Hurry up and taste it to see if it suits your appetite. It's pork rib soup with seaweed, simmered all night.
Sophia angrily patted his hand, then ladled a small bowl for him. In the bowl, the seaweed soup was fragrant, with no visible layer of grease on top. Clearly, Sophia had skimmed it off early in the morning.
It smelled delicious.
The seaweed was also simmered until it melted in the mouth, incredibly tasty.
Sophia, this skill is amazing. My tongue has been swallowed.
Sophia smiled as she watched him finish the bowl of soup, then ladled another bowl.
Drink slowly. You just woke up, and your appetite is so good? It's mainly because your cooking is good. I'm in for a treat from now on. Sophia had a great passion in life for making soup.
She didn't need any precious ingredients, even simple seaweed and pork ribs could be turned into a top-notch delicacy by her. Hearing Liam praise her cooking, she felt a happiness that seemed to overflow.
So happy she was blooming. You're really a handful. How could that be?
You're the young lady, and I'm the servant following you. You don't even know how to cover yourself with a blanket when you sleep, or take off your clothes.
What kind of young lady serves a servant? Liam laughed embarrassedly. I was too sleepy yesterday, it doesn't count. Tonight, you can see if I can cover myself with a blanket. You rascal.
Sophia glared at him, then took a bowl and ladled some plain porridge.
Hurry up and finish eating. We'll be late otherwise. Liam quickly devoured a few eggs, eating his fill. Driving for 20 minutes, they arrived at Phoenix Academy.
Before getting out of the car, he reminded Sophia, "Don't worry about your company's affairs. Wait until we get home tonight, and I'll discuss it. Just to know family, they can't cause much trouble. After speaking, he turned and walked towards the school gate. Olivia Nguyen stood at the gate like a waiting statue, not knowing who she was waiting for. She wore a distinct black and white JK uniform, Japanese schoolgirl uniform, the short black shorts accentuating her slender, straight, and even wider legs. Simple, fresh, yet incredibly attractive attire. Beside her, many male students pretended to chat, their eyes intentionally or unintentionally falling on Olivia. Olivia, who usually loved being admired by male students, turned a blind eye at this moment. After shooing away another male student who came to chat, Olivia finally saw Liam getting out of the car, her eyes lighting up. She ran over with her long legs.
Liam, good morning. Liam glanced at her strangely and nodded faintly. I don't want to talk to you. Get lost.
Olivia obediently stepped aside, following him like a maid with her head bowed. This made many male students who admired her feel indignant.
Damn it, what's with this Liam Kyle? How dare he ignore Olivia? It's infuriating to watch. What does this kid have that I don't?
I just tried to ask her out and was rejected outright.
Didn't even give me her social media. Come on, can you guys have some ambition? You can't walk straight when you see a beauty.
You dare to touch this kind of girl?
Aren't you afraid of being cheated on? Who said anything about dating her? Just playing around, mutual consent. That's true. Give me her social media. You're such a scumbag.
Liam walked ahead, turning a deaf ear to the surrounding discussions.
These people whose morals follow their aesthetics, how many of them were secretly cursing him for being ungrateful? But what could they do to him?
The thing you all strive for and can't get, this young master discards like a worn-out shoe.
Olivia also paid no attention to the surrounding discussions. As long as she could beg for Liam's forgiveness, what did a few words matter?
Just as the two were passing through the small plaza, a student with a striking aura walked towards them. Liam's eyes narrowed slightly, and he couldn't help but smile a little. This person was the protagonist of the novel, Victor King. Originally just an ordinary student, with average looks and family background. He coincidentally obtained a charm system and, by flirting with various beautiful, rich women and career women, climbed to the pinnacle of life.
Olivia Nguyen behind him was his first target.
In the original script, Olivia, this woman, was incredibly loyal to him. She not only packaged the O family as a dowry, don't misunderstand, not for Liam, but for her lover Victor King. She even bit the hand that fed her, cooperating with Victor King to gradually encroach upon the entire Kyle group. Although it was a brainless power fantasy novel, the author wrote it very well, with a strong sense of immersion, making it a very satisfying read. If it weren't for the cuckolded character also being named Liam, he wouldn't have dropped the novel before. But the plot armor's stupidity debuff was also ridiculously strong.
In the novel, Liam was the sole heir to the Kyle group.
The Kyle family's assets were over tens of billions, yet he was always loyal to Olivia, trusting her unconditionally. Even after catching evidence of their affair multiple times, he still didn't divorce Olivia. Truly a veteran simp. As soon as he saw Victor King approaching, Liam knew what this guy wanted to do. Olivia was the first member of his harem, related to his system's evolution. To get close to Olivia, he had used up all the props in his possession, only managing to max out her favorability in 3 days. If he missed Olivia, Victor King would have to hide for who knows how many years to accumulate those props again.
Olivia, good morning.
Victor King flashed a well-practiced smile, clean yet not lacking in sexiness, with immense destructive power.
Olivia's heart pounded, completely forgetting Liam beside her, and said with pleasant surprise, Victor, what do you need me for? Liam calmly watched these two. I have something I want to talk to you about privately. There's still some time before class, okay? Alright, then let's go over there.
Olivia pulled Victor King's hand. After taking 2 steps, she suddenly reacted, her face instantly turning pale.
Many surrounding classmates noticed them, whispering among themselves. Awesome, is this going to be a scene of 2 guys fighting over 1 girl? Will there be a fight? Hurry up, I want to see blood flow like a river.
Olivia quickly flung his hand away, looking at Liam nervously.
Sorry, Liam, I didn't mean it. I'll go back to class with you now. We have no relationship anymore. Go with whoever you like. I won't interfere.
After speaking, he walked up the stairs.
Liam, listen to my explanation.
Olivia didn't dare to respond to Victor King anymore and chased Liam up the stairs, leaving Victor King with an ugly expression, standing alone downstairs. Then he forced a smile, smiled at the surrounding classmates, and left.
Wow, Victor King is so handsome. Just looking at me made my heart beat faster. Come on, I think you have a fever, you little brat. You're still talking about me? Your face is all red. Where is it red? I'm just hot. But more people were astonished by Olivia's choice. This Olivia Nguyen is really interesting.
Liam treats her like that, and she still follows him.
What's so strange about that? Didn't she treat Liam like that before? Now they've just switched roles. That's right.
I've seen Olivia pointing at Liam's nose and cursing him in the hallway before.
Liam didn't dare to say a word. Now the tables have turned.
They walked straight to the classroom.
Danny's red spiky hair was extremely conspicuous.
From afar, they saw a fire hedgehog slumped over a desk.
This fatty was bowing his head, playing on his phone, looking like he was chatting with someone. Fatty, catfishing someone online? Danny suddenly covered his phone, looking around secretively. Where are you looking? Behind you. Ah, Liam, man, what a coincidence. Liam was speechless.
I'm in the same class as you, it's not a coincidence.
Who are you chatting with, so engrossed? Danny was a bit embarrassed. No one. Liam was a bit suspicious. Are you really catfishing? The internet is full of fakes, you won't be able to grasp it. No, I'm chatting with Bella Vance. Oh. Liam understood this time, looking Danny up and down. He never expected these two could talk to each other. If it could work out, it would be a good thing.
That girl Bella Vance was poor but ambitious, a good girl, worthy of Danny.
Come here, fatty, let me talk to you for a bit. Liam walked over and put his arm around his shoulder. Liam, man, if you have something to say, just say it. Don't be like this, I'm scared. Could I harm you? It's definitely a good thing.
Danny looked at his eyes, which seemed even stranger.
Here it comes, here it comes.
Every time Liam had some weird idea, he had this expression.
Last time, when he tricked him into stealing his dad's Black Diamond VIP card, he had this look. He still clearly remembered the feeling of Danny Sr.'s belt raining down on him. Liam didn't beat around the bush with him. What are your plans after graduation? Does dating Bella count? I mean, have you thought about doing any business?
The Miller family's wealth, though not comparable to the Kyle family's, was still among the top in Harborview.
Most importantly, the Miller family had a sizable chemical company.
Their main target customers were small companies in Japan and South Korea.
The distance wasn't too far or too near, Oceanic Express could definitely handle it. Danny had an older sister who had already started taking over the family business. Letting Danny take the lead on this would surely succeed. Liam, man, just say it. How much do you want? Danny said, pulling out a few checks from his pocket. He didn't have any major hobbies.
At most, he bought some figurines or had someone buy a few comics for him.
He usually saved the money his family gave him, he had several $100,000. I'm serious. I'm very optimistic about Oceanic Express. Let's invest together, brother.
Then tell your sister, let her give the chemical company's logistics business to Oceanic.
Wouldn't that make it take off? Danny usually seemed casual, but he had been subtly influenced since childhood and was no stranger to business matters.
The chemical company needed to export, and Oceanic Express wanted transportation business, and also had its own logistics system. This kind of mutually beneficial cooperation was, after all, stable.
Even knowing Liam was doing it for Sophia, this could still be done. Besides, what if it lost money?
Casually throwing in some money, even if only half was left in the end, it could be considered learning experience.
The Miller family could still afford that bit of money. No problem, Liam. Sister-in-law's business is my business.
I'll tell my sister when I get home.
Good brother, let's do it. The two didn't discuss details further. Trivial matters didn't require them to rack their brains. Clarifying the intention to cooperate was enough.
As for how much to invest and how many shares to take, experts would naturally help with the assessment.
First period was Ms. Megan Young's class.
She still wore a black business suit as she walked to the podium. Her arms were crossed in front of her chest, her previous composure restored.
Only, she occasionally glanced over, with a hint of unfriendliness, making Liam feel apprehensive. What's wrong with this Ms. Young? Is she planning to make things difficult for me? He wasn't afraid though. With Ms. Young's personality, whatever happened would be out in the open.
At most, she'd assign him a few tasks in class, torment him a bit, but she wouldn't go too far.
The main lecture was only half over when several school leaders suddenly appeared outside the door. Ms. Young was writing on the board.
Feeling the light dim, she turned her head doubtfully. Mr. Chu was leading several school leaders, standing at the door looking at her.
Hello, leaders. Hello, Mr. Chu. Is there something wrong?
That Mr. Chu was staring at her blankly. Only when he heard her greeting did he snap back to reality. Since yesterday, when he eavesdropped on the love letter incident at her office door, his heart had been itching like a cat was scratching it. A teacher, actually confessing to a student, and no one refused. Although he wasn't unfamiliar with this kind of thing, many female students had been harassed by him. Chad Chu, changed from Chu Chungwon for consistency with earlier name, but the character is the teacher, not the simp student. Let's call this teacher Mr. Charles Chu to differentiate. Pursued you so many times, and you never paid any attention to me.
Now I have evidence in my hands. Ms. Young, you wouldn't want this to be known by the whole school, would you?
Ms. Young, Principal Chu wants to understand the situation with you. Ms. Young was slightly puzzled, but her expression remained unchanged. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, standing beautifully straight.
Please speak. Do you have to say it here?
A hint of triumph appeared on Mr. Chu's face.
Ha!
Originally, Liam, who considered it none of his business, perked up.
Is this Mr. Chu trying to cause trouble? Ms. Young disliked Mr. Chu's insinuating tone. This person usually liked to pester her.
She guessed he was harboring some malicious intent.
Is it related to our classmates?
It's related to them, and also to you, Mr. Chu said.
Then say it here. It'll save me from having to repeat it.
Charles Chu's face changed. Originally, he intended to talk in the hallway, using this matter as a threat to make Ms. Young his girlfriend. Never mind if the melon picked green isn't sweet, but it quenches thirst.
He wasn't looking for marriage.
But if it was made public, it would only harm others and not benefit him. This isn't exactly a glorious matter, Ms. Young.
How about we talk in the office?
In the classroom, classmates whispered among themselves.
Damn, what's this guy trying to do? You can tell he's not a good person, so sneaky. Yeah, his tone is exactly like the villain in a TV drama threatening the protagonist. This infuriated Charles Chu. He looked at the classmates with unfriendly eyes.
Ms. Young, sharp-witted, though she couldn't guess what Charles Chu was talking about. But not following his rhythm was definitely the right move.
Mr. Chu, if you have something to say, please say it directly. I still have to teach, time is limited.
Ms. Young's tone became more emphatic, not even using the word please.
This nearly angered Charles Chu to death. What, you want to teach, and I don't? Am I some freeloader at the school? Fine. You said it. Charles Chu strode onto the podium, glaring venomously at Ms. Young.
He then scanned the entire classroom, searching for the red spiky hair he had seen in the small plaza yesterday.
Danny's red hair was extremely eye-catching, it took no effort at all.
Seeing Liam sitting beside him, Charles Chu finally showed an expression of everything is under control.
He glanced at the beautiful Ms. Young beside him. Hello, classmates, I am Charles Chu.
I came here today mainly because something unbelievable has happened in our school. Some teachers in our school, completely disregarding the school's honor, dared to actively confess to students.
Do they have any teacherly ethics left?
After Charles Chu finished speaking, his face showed a triumphant expression, and he glanced at Ms. Young.
But surprisingly, Ms. Young remained extremely calm, as if the matter being discussed wasn't about her at all. Just keep pretending, Ms. Young. I'd like to see how your students will look at you when this happens. Let's see how long you can pretend.
He turned his head, wanting to see the classmates' reactions.
They must be cursing, right? He was too familiar with this kind of thing. When he harassed those female students before, after it was exposed in the class group, his social media account was almost shut down. If it weren't for Principal Chu stepping in, plus him deleting his main account, he would have been fired long ago. Although he didn't name Ms. Young, anyone discerning would know who he was talking about. Alright, Ms. Young, you're extraordinary, you're noble. Since I can't have you, I'll ruin your reputation. Wow. So romantic. Ms. Young, go for it. Damn it, why isn't this person me? What are you thinking of eating? What?
Charles Chu's face changed drastically. He turned his head in disbelief.
Isn't Ms. Young being drowned in saliva? Why is it all cheers and encouragement?
Mr. Chu, I hope you can take responsibility for your words. Ms. Young's face was calm, but her tone had turned cold.
It's useless for you to argue.
Yesterday, I heard clearly at your office door.
You confessed to a student and were rejected. Dare you say I'm lying? Charles Chu wasn't afraid Ms. Young wouldn't admit it.
Several leaders were watching from the side, and besides, he had already found Liam. Although only he heard the words in the office, many classmates were watching at the school gate yesterday. It was impossible to hide. Ms. Young took a deep breath, ignored Charles Chu beside her, and said to the silent leaders, what Mr. Chu said is just his one-sided story.
Don't be deceived by this petty person. What did you say?
Charles Chu's face turned purple with anger. This woman was indeed a wolf in sheep's clothing, actually biting back. But he wasn't in a hurry. With Principal Chu backing him, even if he was unreasonable, he could still argue for 3/10 of the truth, let alone now that he hadn't played his trump card.
Am I not right? Using class time to slander me. Just some baseless rumors, and you want to throw dirty water on me? Alright, if you don't admit it. I'll find that male student to confront you. Let's see what else you have to say.
Charles Chu sneered, his eyes looking towards Liam in the back row of the classroom. The surrounding classmates also followed his gaze, everyone looking peculiar.
Olivia Nguyen frowned tightly, not knowing what she was thinking.
Her best friend beside her giggled and nudged her shoulder, whispering, Olivia, don't be dazed.
There's a good show to watch.
I'm not dazed, I'm just worried about Liam.
No way, Olivia. Her best friend looked at her in astonishment. Didn't you say before that Liam was just a simp in front of you? Why are you worried about him now? Olivia took a deep breath, suppressing the frustration in her heart. Do you think I want to? I just want Liam to die immediately. Am I doing this because I'm cheap, because I like to lower myself like this? Isn't it all for the status of young Mistress Kyle? Before, I didn't cherish it. Now I know I was wrong. I'm thinking of ways to beg for his forgiveness.
Her best friend pouted, thinking, you should have done it sooner.
Sure enough, what you can't get is always in turmoil, what is pampered is forever fearless.
Liam saw Charles Chu staring at him and knew this guy was targeting him.
No, what the hell are you, daring to talk to me like that? My Ms. Young is my girlfriend's ex-girlfriend. Rounding up, we're practically relatives. Are you some cat or dog that can pretend to be bumped into? Liam stood up with a whoosh and walked straight to the podium.
The surrounding classmates were startled by him, even Ms. Young looked at him in astonishment.
What do you want to do? You still dare to hit a teacher? Feeling guilty, right?
Leaders, the person with an unclear relationship with Ms. Young is this student.
Truly a black sheep. I suggest the school expel him immediately.
Charles Chu was a few inches shorter than Liam. He really disliked this feeling of having to look up at others.
Who the hell do you think you are, daring to question me? What? Are you deaf? I asked who the hell you are. Did your legs not clamp tight enough to let you slip out? Get lost quickly.
The classroom immediately fell silent, all the classmates had only one thought in their minds.
How brave is this Liam, daring to say that in front of so many leaders?
Only Charles Chu didn't notice that when Liam stood up, Principal Chu, standing at the door, had already changed his expression.
How dare you talk to a teacher like that? Liam's eyes suddenly became extremely dangerous. So what if you're a teacher? Get lost. Pack your things and go home. You don't need to come to school anymore. Ha, you say so, and it's so? Is this school opened by your family? Liam didn't even look at him. This guy was just a shrew.
In the classes he taught, any slightly pretty female student would be harassed by him. Originally, he looked decent, could be considered to have a dignified appearance. But his heart was very dirty.
He mixed into Phoenix Academy just wanting to curry favor with the powerful.
Using his teacher status to deceive a rich girl, to marry a rich young lady, completing his class leap. Phoenix Academy was, after all, an aristocratic private school.
What is an aristocratic school? It's not about being the best, but about being the most expensive. The teaching environment, equipment, and faculty far surpassed other schools.
But to be fair, when you're willing to spend money, all problems cease to be problems. All teachers graduated from famous domestic and even international universities, and their teaching quality had been verified in other schools.
So, their academic performance was also among the top in the province.
Tuition alone for one semester was over $30,000.
Students here either had very good family backgrounds or were top students admitted for free.
In the original novel, this guy was Victor King's lackey.
Currently, he was just verbally harassing, only daring to have some evil thoughts.
By the end of the novel, when Victor King rose to prominence, he became even more outrageous, full of evil ideas.
Those whom Victor King didn't pay much attention to were all handled by him using both hard and soft tactics.
Take this opportunity to fire him, so I don't have to see him and feel annoyed every day.
Principal Chu, what do you say? Ah, ha, Student Liam.
Mr. Chu is just a bit rash in his work, but he still wishes the school well.
Don't hold it against him. What? Charles Chu looked at his father in astonishment.
Dad, just expel this kind of student.
I'm not wrong.
Charles Chu, anxious, directly exposed his relationship with Principal Chu. Originally, he entered Phoenix Academy through connections. This kind of thing was fine if kept under wraps, but putting it on the table made it unsightly.
Whose family among the leaders didn't have a few nephews or nieces wanting to enter Phoenix Academy through connections?
His Principal Chu had tactfully refused countless times.
With this slip of the tongue, how would he refuse those old foxes in the future? Address by position in school. Don't bring personal relationships into the school. Liam waved his hand dismissively. I don't care what your relationship is.
This person, don't let him appear in front of me again.
I don't want to say it a second time.
Also, Ms. Young is very good.
Don't let me hear anyone making things difficult for her.
After speaking, he turned and returned to his seat. Mr. Chu, hurry back to the office and pack your things.
You don't need to come tomorrow. The speaker was a vice principal of the school, surnamed Liu. He had long found these two, father and son, an eyesore.
Unexpectedly, today he caught such a big opportunity.
The Kyle Group had a complex network of connections in Harborview. How could a private school like Phoenix Academy not be involved? In fact, the Kyle family was Phoenix Academy's largest shareholder.
Vice Principal Liu had been eyeing the principal's position for many years.
Now that Principal Chu's son had offended Liam, shouldn't he seize the opportunity to show off a bit? What? Vice Principal Liu, what do you mean? Charles Chu was hot-tempered and easily angered.
Hearing Vice Principal Liu's words, he immediately questioned him, emphasizing the word vice particularly clearly.
Impossible. You're just a vice principal, you have no right to fire me. Besides, my father is the principal, he absolutely won't let you get your way.
He still hadn't figured out why these leaders were all obediently listening to Liam.
Even his father, Principal Chu, didn't dare to put on airs in front of Liam. This is the unanimous decision of our school's leadership. Do you have any objections? What did you say, Dad? Shut up. Hurry up and pack your things and leave.
Principal Chu's face was grim, and he shouted directly. He never expected Liam to give him so little face. After all, he had managed Phoenix Academy for many years.
Countless influential figures in Harborview frequently sought his favor. After all, whose family didn't have a few children in school?
What made him even more unexpected was that Vice Principal Lu would jump out to sabotage him at this moment. Originally, he intended to say a few soft words, first transferring Charles Chu to the logistics department to avoid the limelight. After Liam forgot about this matter, he would let him return to teaching. Unexpectedly, he was backstabbed by his own subordinate.
If I could suppress you for 10 years, I can suppress you for a lifetime.
As long as I, Charles Chu Sr., am here for a day, you, Lu Mingda, won't be able to rise up for a day. Only then did Charles Chu realize the severity of the matter. Even his father was preparing to abandon him. I still have several classes of students. I've taught them for 2 years.
They're about to take their exams. Changing teachers now. No need to wait for a handover. We will assign other experienced teachers to take over. Vice Principal Lu directly interrupted him. You?
Charles Chu was extremely hateful. If he left this time, he might never have a chance to enter Phoenix Academy again. High salary, good benefits, and after working for 10 years, he would even be allocated housing in the city center.
With his academic qualifications from a non-prestigious Tier 2 university, how could he find such a good job?
If he was fired this time, he would definitely become a laughingstock among friends and relatives. Usually, during holidays and family gatherings, it was his time to show off. He constantly flaunted himself in front of relatives who weren't doing well in business.
Now it's over. Just thinking about being ridiculed during future holidays was more unbearable than being killed. Go home quickly. Principal Chu said, then turned and left.
Before leaving, he took a deep look at several colleagues. Very good, so many people have sided with you, Lu Mingda.
High-handed tactics, Lu Mingda. It seems I'll have to fight you properly. Vice Principal Lu and everyone else smiled and nodded at Liam in the back of the classroom before leaving.
Only Charles Chu was left standing alone and dazed at the classroom door.
What happened? He clearly came to cause trouble. How did he end up losing his job? He looked at Liam resentfully.
He didn't understand why these leaders, who were usually friendly to him, all wanted to step on him today. He then found that Liam's gaze had long since shifted away from him. He was huddled with that red-haired spiky-headed guy, talking about something.
Charles Chu, I still have to teach. Unrelated personnel, please leave the school quickly. Ms. Young also had a temper. If Liam hadn't stepped in today, who knows what rumors would have spread. In a school environment, this kind of rumor is the most damaging. Charles Chu opened his mouth wide, but before he could say anything, a door slammed shut in his face. Damn it! I'll make you all regret this. After speaking, he stormed off angrily. He immediately ran into Victor King standing at the top of the stairs. He angrily grabbed Victor King's collar. This was all you're doing. Now I've lost my job. Are you satisfied? Victor King's face was cold as he pushed him away. He had been secretly observing from the side just now. He saw the whole thing clearly. It was indeed he who instigated Charles Chu to cause trouble. The target wasn't actually Ms. Young, but Liam. He could see that the props produced by the system still affected Olivia. But for some reason, Olivia had become very afraid of Liam and dared not contact him anymore, even deleting his contact information. Charles Chu was hot-tempered and easily agitated. Using him to drive Liam out of school, he could then approach Olivia again, and everything would return to its original track. He never expected these school leaders to look at Liam with the same expression as Olivia. It seemed Liam wasn't an ordinary person either. There must be some hidden identity behind him. What are you yelling at me for? You can't even handle a small matter. You're truly useless. Charles Chu's eyes immediately turned bloodshot. He gritted his teeth and pushed him straight into the railing. What did you say? Unexpectedly, Victor King's seemingly frail body possessed astonishing strength. He twisted Charles Chu's arm, grabbed his throat with one hand, and actually lifted him up. Gasp, gasp.
Charles Chu's eyes bulged, desperately trying to breathe. But the large hand on his throat was like an iron clamp, tightly gripping his neck. Just as he felt darkness encroaching, about to pass out, Victor King threw him to the ground with one hand. Charles Chu sat crumpled on the ground, desperately gasping for air. He immediately looked at Victor King with fearful eyes. "What kind of monster are you?" With just one hand, he could lift an adult man weighing 140 pounds like him. And so effortlessly. "Do you want revenge?" Victor King smiled, looking down at him. What do you mean?" Victor King, with some reluctance, took out a candy from his pocket. "This is a product from a lab in the US. Eating it can give you boundless strength, even enough to kill a tiger barehanded. With this, Liam will be nothing but a chick in your eyes, easily crushed." Victor King enticed him with a casual expression. This was just a story he made up. The candy was a strengthening drug produced by his system. Killing a tiger barehanded was a bit exaggerated, but after taking it, one's strength could reach the level of a long-trained weightlifter. Originally, he intended to save those accumulated points for an emergency. Now, he had no choice but to use a brainless person like Charles Chu to deal with Liam. If he didn't give him some confidence, he definitely wouldn't dare to seek revenge. Killing is a capital offense. Besides, this candy of yours is fundamentally unscientific. "I have things to do, I'll go first." Charles Chu didn't dare to stay long and got up to leave. "Hold on. Who told you to kill someone? Can't you just teach him a lesson? Find a dark night, put a sack over him, and break one of his legs. He made you lose your job, can you swallow this anger?" Seeing Charles Chu's hesitant expression, Victor King added more fuel to the fire. "What, afraid my medicine is poisonous? You know killing is a capital offense. I have no grudge against you, I wouldn't harm you. Scientific or not, wouldn't you know if you try it once? Is your strength also from eating this?" That's right. Perhaps it was Victor King arousing his hatred, or perhaps it was the desire for that strength. Charles Chu took the candy from his hand. "The strengthening process might be a bit painful. Remember to find an empty place before eating it." Victor King smiled and patted his shoulder, then walked straight downstairs. Charles Chu's expression was gloomy and uncertain. He held the candy and turned to walk into the office. "Liam Kyle, just you wait for me." Although Charles Chu was a bit hot-headed, he wasn't a fool. He was clearly being used as a weapon by Victor King. But did that matter? He just wanted revenge. Blocking someone's livelihood is like killing their parents. Originally, as long as he stayed at Phoenix Academy, casting a wide net would always catch some fish. Beautiful girls are afraid of persistent guys. Even if he had to use some tricks in the end, he would always find an opportunity. But now, everything was over. Charles Chu clenched the candy in his hand and carefully put it away. Trying it wouldn't hurt. The worst outcome would just be an ordinary candy, being played by Victor King. If it was real, even if he didn't go looking for trouble with Liam, he could still benefit from a strengthened body. This was something money couldn't buy. He still hadn't figured out whether he should seek revenge. But Victor King wasn't worried at all that he wouldn't be impulsive. On one hand, it was determined by Charles Chu's personality, this person was simply brainless. Most importantly, when one carries a sharp weapon, murderous intent naturally arises. A petty person who already held grudges, how could he hold back when he gained power? He quickly reached the office. Charles Chu pushed open the office door with a gloomy face, praying no colleagues were there. Running over dejectedly was already embarrassing enough. If he was ridiculed again, it would be more unbearable than being killed. As soon as the large door opened, he saw the empty office. His father, Principal Chu, was sitting in his chair, looking at him coldly. "Dad. Don't call me Dad. I'm not your dad." Principal Chu scolded, hating that iron couldn't become steel. "How many times have I told you? Pay attention to those rich young ladies in school. You just had to keep pestering that Megan Young. Can beauty be eaten? You good for nothing." Charles Chu was scolded until he couldn't lift his head, his heart filled with extreme hatred for Ms. Young and Liam. What exactly is that Liam Kyle's identity? Why are those people like Lou all listening to him, firing me just like that, completely disregarding any sentiment?
Is that listening to him? That's disliking me. If it weren't for you, how could I leave a bad impression on Liam?
This time, my position is also hard to keep. Principal Chu gritted his teeth and cursed.
How could it be? Why couldn't it be?
That Liam Kyle is the heir to the Kyle family. His father is Phoenix Academy's largest shareholder.
It's just that Liam is usually low-key, so no one knows his identity.
Even if he's the chairman of the school board, he can't be so arbitrary. Dad, you've worried and worked hard for Phoenix Academy for so many years. Even if there's no merit, there's hard work.
If you unite with other chairmen, can they really do anything to you?
Principal Chu looked at him with some disappointment. The Kyle Group stamps its foot, and all of Harborview trembles.
Those school shareholders all have cooperation with the Kyle family. Do you think an old man like me is important, or is the relationship with the Kyle family more important?
Charles Chu was speechless. Only now did he realize how serious this matter was.
But you don't need to worry too much. That kid Lu Mingda is still too inexperienced to fight me. Does the Kyle family even know who he is? He's far from being able to bring me down. That Liam Kyle. Just a kid. He doesn't have that much say at home. Pack your things and go home first. Don't cause any trouble these few days. Liam will graduate soon. Then I'll find a way to get you back. Really? Charles Chu's face lit up with joy. Don't be too happy. If he dismisses you as an insignificant character, it'll be easy.
If he keeps staring at / targeting you, then returning to Phoenix Academy won't be so simple.
Go home and study hard these few days. I'll see if I can pull some strings to improve your qualifications a bit.
After Principal Chu finished speaking, he stood up and left. Before leaving, he patted his son's shoulder. With a warning, naturally, he also had to give his son some encouragement, lest he lose heart and give up. Charles Chu's mood improved considerably. Taking advantage of the fact that other colleagues hadn't finished class, he quickly packed his things and went home. And in the classroom, everyone was still immersed in the shocking scene just now. Many quick-witted people had already begun to think about how to maintain a good relationship with Liam.
Liam's identity is definitely not that simple.
Those leaders were all so deferential in front of him.
Before, he was low-key. Apart from hanging out with his deskmate Danny, he usually didn't participate in any gatherings. He was a very private person.
No wonder Olivia, after being dumped by him, wouldn't leave no matter how much he cursed her.
Liam, man, does that old Principal Chu need to be dealt with? Danny, ever the troublemaker. What, did he offend you? Isn't this offending you? Aunt Maria dotes on you so much.
Just say a word to her, and she'll definitely support you.
As long as you open your mouth, I'll go home and tell my dad. The school board chairman will absolutely support you. Danny's family was also on Phoenix Academy school board.
The Kyle and Miller families were close friends for generations, the type to sink or swim together.
Stop causing trouble.
As long as that Charles Chu doesn't jump out again, let this matter be.
We're about to graduate anyway.
I still have to help Sophia with her company's affairs. I don't have time for these trivial things.
Danny pouted. Love is love, speaking so nobly. But the reasoning wasn't wrong. Right now, it was better to seize the opportunity to chat more with Bella Vance.
Trash like Charles Chu, just let him fend for himself.
An afternoon passed quickly.
Seeing it was almost time for school to end, Olivia, who had been miserable all day, finally couldn't hold it in anymore. Under the mocking gazes of her classmates, she walked to Liam's desk.
Look, Olivia is going to find Liam again. Do you think Liam can resist this time? I think it's difficult. A girl pursuing a guy is like piercing through a layer of silk.
Besides, they have an emotional foundation, he can't just keep refusing.
That's not necessarily true. Look at the school leader's attitude today. Liam's family is definitely not ordinary. Before, he was ignorant and infatuated with Olivia.
Now, it's really uncertain if he still cares about her. Olivia turned a deaf ear to the classmates' discussions, as if they weren't talking about her.
Liam, do you have time tonight? There's a movie coming out soon. The lead actor is your favorite, Stephen Chow. Can we go watch it together?
No, I want to go home and eat with my girlfriend.
Get lost. You have a girlfriend? That's right. Don't waste your efforts. I find you annoying now. Stop appearing in front of me. I just want to explain to you, nothing else.
Liam pointed to the classroom door and sneered, if you really feel sorry, then transfer schools.
Or change classes. Just stop hovering in front of me every day. Olivia almost exploded with anger.
Her ample chest heaved several times, but she finally suppressed it.
I understand. It must be that I haven't done well enough. I will definitely correct myself in time. Please observe my future performance. As long as the relationship eases and she gets the Kyle family's approval, let's see how I'll deal with you. Olivia was originally a ruthless person. Her current submissiveness was just a temporary concession. She hadn't truly repented.
If it weren't for fear of Liam's disgust, she would have agreed to Victor King's date invitation long ago. Liam didn't care at all whether this ex-girlfriend was genuinely repentant or just putting on an act. He knew this woman, apart from her striking appearance, was only filled with hedonism and scheming plots. She wasn't worth his effort at all. The surrounding classmates watched the drama with great relish. It wasn't because they were idle and had nothing to do. Mainly, the role reversal between these two was very interesting. A few days ago, it was always Olivia getting angry for no reason, hitting and kicking Liam at the slightest provocation. The most common sight was Liam queuing for 1 or 2 hours in the scorching sun to buy milk tea and drinks to apologize to Olivia, only to be frequently criticized as useless for taking so long to buy a cup of milk tea. No matter how badly he was scolded, Liam never tired. He felt that in a relationship, it was okay for one side to put in more effort. And now? In just a few days, Liam's attitude towards Olivia had changed 180 degrees. Forget about coaxing Olivia. If Liam didn't say a few disdainful words telling her to get lost, it meant he was in a good mood. And Olivia was also a masochist. No matter how Liam cursed her, she refused to leave. Wherever Liam and Danny went, she would follow with her head bowed. So, a strange scene appeared in the school. In front, a handsome, refined young man and a red-haired spiky-headed guy were engaged in a lively discussion. Behind them, a beautiful girl in a JK uniform followed with her head bowed, afraid of losing them. Behind the girl was a long line of Olivia's admirers, all gritting their teeth, wishing they could replace him. That bastard Liam Kyle, would it kill him to say a few words to Olivia? Yeah, and he just keeps leading her on. It's so hateful. Hey, if Liam paid attention to Olivia, wouldn't those two be together again? Before they broke up, you all cursed them. Do you actually want them to be together or not? I don't care. Even if I don't like her, I can't just treat others so cheaply. If you're rejecting someone, can't you talk properly? Liam had excellent hearing. Walking in front, he heard the classmates' words behind him and immediately turned around. Olivia, with her head bowed, almost bumped into his back. Seeing Liam turn to look at her, a joyful expression appeared on Olivia's face. Here it comes. Is he finally going to pity me? I knew he couldn't really let go of his feelings for me. Olivia Quinn. Ah, I'm here. Can you stop following me? Didn't you hear what they said? I'm already being misunderstood. Tell me yourself, did I ask you to follow me? No, I wanted to follow you myself. That's right. Get lost quickly. Stop following me. Go home properly after school. My girlfriend is here to pick me up. Olivia's eyes immediately turned red, she couldn't hold on any longer. These past few days, she had thrown all her self-respect into the mud, yet she still couldn't win back even a little bit of Liam's affection. The way other classmates looked at her had changed from previous admiration to looking at a mental patient now. Many were gossiping that after being dumped by Liam, she had developed schizophrenia. Enough! Finally unable to bear the surrounding discussions, she chased after Liam's retreating figure towards the school gate. Liam didn't care at all about the consequences of his words and had already pulled Danny out of the school. Go home by yourself today. I want to take Sophia home to meet my parents.
No problem, Liam. Wishing you victory in your first battle. Danny gave a thumbs up, hailed a cab, and also left. That direction doesn't seem to be the Miller family's home. Oh well, whatever. A white Nokia car slowly stopped at the gate. Liam couldn't help but smile, directly walking to the passenger side and pulling open the car door. Olivia ran out of the school gate breathlessly, anxiously searching for Liam. From afar, she saw Liam standing next to a white Nokia car, talking to the driver. Why does that car look so familiar? Olivia suspiciously tried to find an angle to see the person in the driver's seat clearly. Although she already had an answer in her heart, she still felt that guess was very unlikely. Harborview couldn't possibly have only one white Nokia car. Sophia had changed into a gray business suit, still the OL office attire with black stockings. The tight-fitting skirt outlined her curvaceous figure, possessing both the charm of a mature woman and the vitality of a young girl. Sophia, you look so beautiful today. Smooth talker. Get in the car quickly. It's not good to block the school gate. Sophia chuckled lightly, urging him to get in the car. Liam didn't say much more, got into the car in one step, and sat in the passenger seat. You have to wear your seatbelt properly in the car. You really don't know how to worry, Sophia said, her tone chiding but incredibly doting. Her whole body leaned over, reaching for the seatbelt on the passenger side, and buckled it for him herself. Standing not far away, Olivia finally found a suitable angle. Just as Sophia was leaning over to help buckle the seatbelt, her entire body was almost pressed against Liam. Mom! No way! Olivia's eyes widened, one hand covering her mouth. Her heart was in turmoil. She originally thought Liam's new girlfriend would, at most, be a campus beauty of her own level. She followed him, thinking that in a fair competition later, with her looks, she might still have a chance. But she never thought Liam's current girlfriend wouldn't be her age, and moreover, it was her own mother. Impossible. This isn't real. Olivia stumbled back a few steps in extreme panic and ran towards the classroom. Her mind was in utter chaos now. If she initially felt confident competing with anyone, now that the opponent had become her mother, how could she compete? She took out her mobile phone and called her father, Vincent O. The mobile phone rang for half a day, and only after half a minute did someone finally answer. What is it, Livy? Vincent O's voice, for some reason, sounded a bit rushed. I just saw Liam's current girlfriend. Oh? Just for this? With my daughter's looks, no one can compete with you. Just lower yourself a bit, don't doubt yourself, hiss. Vincent O said, suddenly taking a deep breath. After hearing this, Olivia didn't care about those things at all, only feeling incredibly absurd. Dad is actually encouraging me to compete with Mom for a boyfriend. Fantastic. His current girlfriend is Mom. Olivia gritted her teeth. What? It's that woman Sophia Hayes? Damn it, stop sucking, I have business. Livy, tell me carefully. Olivia finally understood why that hissing sound was there, but she didn't have time to care about these things now. She had to recount the entire scene she had just witnessed. Send me a picture of that Liam kid. When they were still dating, Olivia had saved many photos on her phone. She directly sent one to Vincent O via multimedia message. The speed of loading multimedia messages wasn't fast now. After a few minutes, a loud noise came from the other end of the phone. It really is this kid. He had met this person before. At that time, he had invited Sophia to dinner, wanting to use the pretext of remarrying to acquire the Hayes family's Oceanic Express. At that time, Sophia brought along an overly young man. He thought it was a kept man Sophia was supporting. Who would have thought it was actually Liam Kyle? Although he had investigated Liam's identity, it was done by his subordinates. He had never seen Liam's photo. Vincent O's mind was in a whirl. Seizing Oceanic Express was a must, but confronting the Kyle family head-on was absolutely unwinnable. And he himself had offended Liam at the restaurant before. Now, he could only use his daughter Olivia's identity to make a play. Livy, I think this is a very good opportunity. What opportunity? Olivia said suspiciously. This love thing, it's all selfish. You and your mother are just competing fairly. Dad will support you. What? You mean, you want me and Mom to fight over Liam?
Olivia said incredulously. Anyway, you two are not blood related. Besides, men, they all like this kind of thing. Vincento spoke very implicitly, but Olivia understood. The meaning was, like father, like son, or in this case, like mother, like daughter. When going into battle, mother and daughter go together. But why should she accept it? Just for wealth and glory? The O family wasn't short of money. She had lived in luxury since childhood and never lacked pocket money. Livy, if we can't acquire Oceanic Express, the company at home probably won't be able to hold on. Besides, your mother might not necessarily be with Liam. Maybe it was just a coincidence, and she just gave him a ride. I know. Olivia nodded and directly hung up the phone. Her father was right, the relationship between her mother and Liam was still uncertain. Wait until Monday to confirm at school before saying anything. If it was just a misunderstanding, then that would be best. If the two of them were really together. And in the car, Liam and Sophia were chatting and laughing. I trust Sophia's driving. It's okay not to wear a seatbelt. TSK, TSK, TSK. Sophia playfully slapped him. Don't say that next time. You must wear a seatbelt when you're in a car. Otherwise, I won't pick you up anymore. Liam quickly raised his hands in surrender. Alright, I know I was wrong. I promise to wear a seatbelt wherever I go from now on. Talking nonsense again. Where are you going? The Kyle family estate, of course. Don't you know where it is? Are you really taking me home? Liam tilted his head to look at Sophia, who was concentrating on driving. Her beautiful face, which looked like it could be broken by a puff of wind, showed a hint of a blush. I keep my word. I've never lied in front of Sophia. Not before, and not in the future. Sophia tilted her head to look at him, her face gradually heating up. She then snorted haughtily and focused on driving. The Kyle family villa was located in the western part of Harborview. Harborview's feng shui was excellent, the black tortoise bowing, the vermilion bird soaring. Surrounded by mountains on three sides, with a large river to the south, the western part of Harborview was at the upper reaches of the river. This place was in the position of the submissive white tiger, with dense forests and excellent air quality. It could be said that more than half of Harborview's wealthy elite lived in this area. I never thought a big city like Harborview would have such beautiful scenery. Sophia drove up the winding mountain road, speaking with some curiosity. She had grown up in Harborview since childhood but had rarely come to this place. It's all idle rich people here. Going out isn't convenient, and few restaurants are willing to deliver takeout. Liam mercilessly shattered her illusion. It wasn't like later, when ordering takeout was just an app away, and someone would accept the order no matter how far. But now was still the era of customers calling to order food. Better restaurants usually didn't accept takeout orders, only serving dine-in. On one hand, they couldn't handle it, on the other, they were afraid takeout would affect the taste of the dishes. Those who could live in villas in this area were basically wealthy people without much free time. Their homes basically had full-time nannies. Otherwise, cooking a meal would take half a day. Going deeper, Sophia didn't know the way anymore. Under Liam's guidance, she drove through a bamboo forest and finally saw the Kyle family villa. The building area was over 6,000 square feet, plus the lawn and garden in front, looking very grand but not ostentatious. His mother, Maria Kyle, was waiting at the door, almost wearing out her eyes from looking. Maria was originally beautiful and had been well maintained after many years of marriage. She didn't look nearly 40 at all. Her fair, firm skin and healthy, graceful figure made her look only about 30. Some might even believe she was Liam's older sister. Seeing a white car approach, Maria hurried over. Mom, I'm back. Liam pushed open the car door and gave Maria a tight hug. Originally, he thought he would feel embarrassed seeing his parents in this world. Unexpectedly, when he actually met them, the joy in his heart couldn't be suppressed. It was a kind of feeling from the inside out, an irresistible urge to hug his mother. Oh, sweetie, it's good you're back. Let Mom take a good look at you. Maria hugged her precious son, reluctant to let go, her eyes moist with joyful tears. She kept touching him here and there, constantly saying he had lost weight and suffered outside. The smile on her face grew brighter and brighter. Just now, she was worried her son would act childishly when he saw her. Now it seemed her worries were completely unnecessary.
What child isn't close to their mother? Hey, I'm at a growing age, just developing, it's normal.
She looked him up and down, then nodded with satisfaction.
Not bad, not bad.
Your clothes are ironed flat and neat.
Not bad, you look energetic. Mom made your favorite dish. You have to eat a lot tonight.
After speaking, she lovingly touched his face.
Liam chuckled, not at all disliking Maria's doting actions.
She had been injured before, losing the ability to get pregnant again, and was extremely protective of this only son. If it weren't for him reaching his rebellious phase, she wouldn't have let Liam sleep alone.
The original owner's timid personality was actually largely due to Maria's pampering.
But luckily, although she was a bit extreme, she ultimately didn't raise Liam to be a cold, arrogant rich young master.
Mom, let me introduce you. This is my girlfriend, Sophia Hayes. Liam suddenly remembered he hadn't introduced the girlfriend in the driver's seat and quickly pulled Maria over.